Sumatra is an island of incredible stories. It is a land of dense jungles, powerful volcanoes, and rich cultures. But, its greatest treasure might be its people, especially its women. For centuries, the women of Sumatra have not just been mothers or wives. They have been leaders, warriors, scholars, and queens. They have stood at the forefront of change, fighting for their land and their people with a courage that still echoes today. We often hear stories of great men in history books, but Sumatra offers a different narrative. Here, women's voices are loud, their actions are decisive, and their legacy is unbreakable. They show us that power and wisdom are not defined by gender, and this is not a modern phenomenon. This tradition of strong female leadership is deeply rooted in Sumatran history. From the fierce kingdom of Aceh in the north to the unique matrilineal society of the Minangkabau in the west, women have always held positions of great respect and authority. They commanded armies, ruled kingdoms, and shaped the laws of their lands. Their stories are not just footnotes in history, they are the main chapters. They challenge our assumptions and inspire us to look at leadership in a new light. These women were not given power. They earned it through their intelligence, bravery, and unwavering dedication to their communities. Today, on August 24th, 2025, it is more important than ever to remember these figures. We look back to understand who we are and who we can become. The heroines of Sumatra teach us valuable lessons about resilience and justice. They fought against colonial invaders, they pushed for education when it was denied to them, and they built societies that valued women's contributions. Their lives were often filled with struggle and sacrifice, but they never gave up. They faced powerful enemies and outdated traditions with a spirit that could not be broken. Their stories are a powerful reminder that one person can make a tremendous difference. In this journey through Sumatra's past, we will meet some of these extraordinary women. We will sail with Admiral Malahayati, fight in the jungles with Nyak Dhien, and learn from the wisdom of Aceh's queens. We will explore the Minangkabau world, where women are the center of the family, and celebrate pioneers like Rohana Kudus and Rasuna Said. We will even see how this spirit lives on in art and culture. These are not just stories from a distant island. They are stories for all of us, showing the incredible power that lies within every person who dares to lead and dream of a better world. In the late 16th century, the seas around the Strait of Malacca were dangerous. They were filled with pirates and European ships trying to control the rich spice trade. In this world dominated by men and naval power, a woman from the Sultanate of Aceh rose to become one of history's most formidable naval commanders. Her name was Keumalahayati, or simply Malahayati. She was not just a warrior, she was Aceh's first female admiral. Her story begins with loss, but is defined by strength. After her husband died in a sea battle against the Portuguese, Malahayati did not retreat into mourning. Instead, she asked the Sultan for permission to form her own army to defend Aceh. Her request was granted, and she created the Bali, an army of widows whose husbands had also fallen in battle. This was more than just an army, it was a sisterhood of warriors united by grief and a powerful desire for justice. Malahayati trained these women to become skilled fighters and sailors. She built a fleet of over 100 warships and established a fortress at Teluk Krueng Raya. Under her command, the Inong Bali became a feared naval force, protecting Aceh's waters and trade routes. They were a symbol of Aceh's resilience, proving that the strength of a nation could be found in its women. Malahayati's most famous encounter was with the Dutch. In 1599, two Dutch trading ships led by Cornelis de Houtman arrived in Aceh. De Houtman was arrogant and disrespectful, attempting to disrupt the local pepper trade and insult the Sultan. Malahayati was sent to deal with him. In a fierce battle on the deck of de Houtman's ship, Malahayati personally fought and killed the Dutch commander. This incredible act sent a clear message across the seas. Aceh was not to be trifled with, and its admiral was a force to be reckoned with. Her victory cemented her reputation as a brilliant military strategist and a fearless leader. Beyond her military achievements, Malahayati was also a skilled diplomat. After her victory, she negotiated with the Dutch and even held their representatives captive until they paid reparations. She later established peaceful relations with other foreign powers, including England, receiving Queen Elizabeth I's envoy, James Lancaster. Malahayati showed that she could be both a fierce warrior and a wise negotiator. Her legacy is a powerful testament to the fact that leadership is about more than just brute force. It is about intelligence, courage, and an unshakable commitment to protecting one's people and homeland. She remains an inspiration for women in the military and in leadership roles across Indonesia. Long after Malahayati's time, another generation of Acehnese women took up arms to defend their homeland. During the brutal Aceh War against Dutch colonial rule, two heroines emerged from the jungles, leading a fierce resistance that lasted for decades. One of them was Nyak Dhien. Born into an aristocratic family, she was not destined to be a warrior. But when the Dutch invaded and her first husband was killed in battle, she swore an oath to drive them out. She joined the guerrilla forces and fought alongside her second husband, Teuku Umar, one of Aceh's greatest resistance leaders. Together, they were a formidable pair, leading hit-and-run attacks from their jungle hideouts. Nyak Dhien was more than just a follower. She was a strategist and a source of inspiration. When Teuku Umar was killed in a Dutch ambush, she refused to surrender. Instead, she took command of the remaining resistance fighters and continued the war for many more years. She led her small band of soldiers through the dense, mountainous terrain, evading capture and continuing to fight even as her health failed. She suffered from nearsightedness and arthritis, but her spirit remained unbroken. Her determination was legendary among her people and feared by the Dutch. She believed that it was better to die fighting than to live under foreign rule. Eventually, weakened by age and illness, Nyak Dhien was captured after being betrayed by one of her own men who could not bear to see her suffer any longer. The Dutch treated her with respect, recognizing her as a worthy adversary. They exiled her to Sumedang in West Java, far from her beloved Aceh, hoping to extinguish the flame of resistance. But even in exile, she remained a symbol of defiance. She taught the Quran to the local people until her death in 1908. Today, Nyak Dhien is a national hero of Indonesia, her story a powerful lesson in perseverance and unwavering love for one's country. Another fierce guerrilla leader from this era was Nyak Meutia. Like Nyak Dhien, she fought alongside her husband against the Dutch. After his death, she refused to give up the fight. With a traditional Acehnese dagger or renkong in her hand, she took command of the troops and led them deeper into the jungle. She was known for her tactical brilliance and her ability to inspire her fighters to continue the struggle against impossible odds. She moved her forces through the dense wilderness of Pasai, using the terrain to her advantage to ambush Dutch patrols. Her name became synonymous with courage and relentless resistance. On October 24, 1910, she was cornered by Dutch troops. Refusing to be taken alive, she fought until the very end and was killed in the battle. Her legacy, like that of Nyak Dhien, is one of extraordinary bravery in the face of colonial oppression. While some of Aceh's women were known for their military prowess, others were celebrated for their wise and peaceful rule. In the 17th century, a period often called Aceh's Golden Age, the powerful sultanate was governed by a succession of 4 female rulers, or sultanahs. This was a remarkable and rare occurrence in the Islamic world at the time. The first of these queens was Sultanah Safiatuddin Tajul Alam, who came to power in 1641. She was the daughter of the great Sultan Iskandar Muda and the widow of his successor, Sultan Iskandar Thani. When her husband died, the Council of Nobles chose her to rule, recognizing her intelligence and strong character. Sultanah Safiatuddin's reign marked a significant shift in Acehnese politics. She ruled with wisdom and justice, focusing on strengthening Islamic law and promoting education and culture. Scholars from across the Islamic world came to Aceh during her rule, and she was known as a patron of the arts and sciences. She successfully balanced the power of the court nobles and the religious leaders, ensuring stability in the kingdom. Her reign proved that a woman could govern as effectively as any man, challenging patriarchal norms within her own society and in the eyes of foreign visitors, particularly the Europeans who traded with Aceh. After Sultana Safiatuddin's death, she was succeeded by 3 more queens: Sultana Nakiyatuddin Nurul Alam, Sultana Zakiyatuddin Inayat Shah, and Sultana Kamalat Shah. Together, these 4 sultanas ruled Aceh for nearly 60 years. This long period of female leadership had a lasting impact on Aceh's society. It fostered a culture where women's intelligence and leadership were highly valued. The queens promoted a system of law that was based on Islamic principles, but also respected local customs, or adat. They ensured peace and prosperity, maintaining Aceh's position as a major center of trade and Islamic scholarship in Southeast Asia. The era of the 4 sultanas is remembered as a time of peace, stability, and cultural flourishing. They demonstrated that leadership is about wisdom, diplomacy, and justice, not just military might. Their rule was a golden age that left a deep legacy on Aceh's identity. It created a historical precedent for female leadership. It would later inspire figures like Nyak Dhien. The story of these 4 queens is a powerful counter-narrative to the idea that Islamic societies are inherently oppressive to women. In 17th century Aceh, women were not just participants in public life. They were at its very center, leading with grace and strength. While Aceh was known for its powerful individual female leaders, the Minangkabau people of West Sumatra, they built an entire society centered on women. The Minangkabau are the world's largest matrilineal society. This means that family name, property, and land are passed down from mother to daughter. In this unique cultural system, women are the heart of the community. The ancestral home, known as the Rumah Gadang, with its iconic curved roof, belongs to the women of the family. A man marries into his wife's home, and while he is a respected guest, the authority within the household belongs to the senior woman. This matrilineal system shapes every aspect of Minangkabau life. Property and land are considered ancestral heritage, belonging to the maternal lineage. They cannot be sold by individuals, but are managed collectively by the women of the family for the benefit of all. This gives Minangkabau women a level of economic independence and security that was honestly pretty rare in most other societies. While men hold important political and religious roles in the public sphere, particularly as clan chiefs or penghulu, their power is balanced by the significant influence of women within the family and the clan. The Bundo Kanduang, or senior woman, holds a position of great honor and respect. The philosophy behind this system is captured in the Minangkabau proverb, Adat Basandi Sharak, Sharak Basandi Kitabullah, which means Adat is based on Islamic law. Islamic law is based on the Quran. The Minangkabau have skillfully blended their ancient matrilineal customs with their Islamic faith. They see no contradiction between the two. For them, honoring women and placing them at the center of the family is a way of creating a stable and just society. This unique cultural structure has fostered generations of confident and capable women who are accustomed to holding positions of authority and responsibility within their communities. This social structure has had a profound effect on the character of Minangkabau people. Both men and women are encouraged to be adaptable and to seek knowledge and experience outside their home village, a practice known as merantau. However, the connection to the maternal homeland remains strong. The matrilineal system has not only empowered women, but has also created a resilient and dynamic culture. It is from this unique social background that some of Indonesia's most influential female pioneers in education, journalism, and politics emerged, ready to challenge the status quo and fight for a better future for all Indonesians. Their confidence was nurtured in a world where women have always been leaders. The Minangkabau matrilineal culture created a fertile ground for female pioneers who sought to modernize their society and fight for national independence. One of the earliest and most important of these figures was Rohana Kudus, born in 1884. She was a true trailblazer. At a time when formal education for girls was almost non-existent, she was determined to change that. In 1911, she founded a school called Sekolah Kerajinan Amai Setia in her hometown of Kota Gadang. This school taught girls not only reading and writing, but also practical skills like embroidery and household management, empowering them with economic independence. But Rohana Kudus did not stop at education. She recognized the power of the written word. In 1912, she founded a newspaper called Sunting Melayu, the first newspaper for women in Indonesia. She was its editor, and most of its writers and staff were women. The newspaper discussed issues important to women, such as education, marriage, and household management, but it also touched on broader social and political topics. Through her writing, Rohana Kudus gave women a voice and a platform to share their ideas and experiences. She was a journalist, an educator, and a visionary who believed that the progress of a nation depended on the progress of its women. Another powerful voice from the Minangkabau region was Rasuna Said. A generation younger than Rohana Kudus, she was a fiery orator and a passionate political activist. She was deeply involved in the nationalist movement, fighting for Indonesia's independence from Dutch colonial rule. Rasuna Said was known for her powerful speeches in which she fiercely criticized Dutch colonialism and advocated for social justice and equality. Her activism often got her into trouble with the colonial authorities, and she was arrested and imprisoned for her speeches. But she was never silenced. She believed that political independence was meaningless without social freedom and equality for all, especially women. The third great pioneer from this region was Rahma El Yunusia. Like Rohana Kudus, she was passionate about education for girls, but with a strong focus on religious learning. In 1923, she founded Dunia Putri, the first Islamic boarding school exclusively for girls in Indonesia. Her school provided a comprehensive education that combined religious studies with modern subjects. Rahma's vision was to create a new generation of educated Muslim women who could become leaders in their communities. Her school became a model for girls' education across the country. Later in her life, she became one of the first women to serve in Indonesia's parliament, continuing her lifelong fight for education and women's rights. These three women, Rohana, Rasuna, and Rahma, are shining examples of the Minangkabau spirit, using their intelligence and courage to build a better nation. The Minangkabau people have a special way of showing their strength and artistic side. It's all beautifully expressed in a traditional performance called Randai. Randai is way more than just a dance or a play. It's a lively mix of music, dancing, acting, and martial arts. It's like a living storybook, where the performers bring old Minangkabau legends and tales to life. The show usually happens in a circle with the audience all around the performers. The story unfolds with talking and singing, and the movements are highlighted by the rhythmic clapping of the performers on their special pants. Back in the day, only men performed Randai. The moves in Randai come from Silek, which is the traditional Minangkabau martial art. This made the performance really tough physically, needing strength, quickness, and discipline. The circle of performers called the Legaran moves together, making a powerful and exciting visual. The stories often teach lessons about community, honor, and the importance of adat, which is their customary law. Randai was a way to pass down cultural values and history from one generation to the next, all while entertaining everyone. But as Minangkabau society moved forward, this tradition also changed. In recent years, women have started to join Randai both as actors and as part of the main circle. This change shows how women's roles are changing in modern Indonesia, and it also honors the important place women have in Minangkabau culture. Women joining in has added something new to the art form. It allows them to show the strong female characters that are often in Minangkabau legends. The very women who represent the Bundo Kanduang, the respected leader of the family. Women taking part in Randai is a strong sign that their culture keeps going and can change. It shows that traditions don't have to stay the same. They can grow and change to fit today's values. By stepping into the Randai circle, women aren't just breaking an old rule about only men performing, they're also taking back a place to show their own strength and artistic talent. This modern change in Randai proves how strong the Minangkabau way of life is, where men and women working together is seen as super important for a balanced and lively community. It's a celebration of both art and moving forward as a society. The island of Sumatra was not only a land of warriors and queens, but also a great center of knowledge and intellectual pursuit. Long before the rise of the Islamic Sultanates, another powerful kingdom flourished in the heart of the island. This was the Srivijaya Empire, a maritime power that controlled much of Southeast Asia from the 7th to the 13th century. At the heart of this empire's intellectual life was a remarkable place, the Muaro Jambi Temple compounds. Located on the banks of the Badangari River in Jambi province, this vast archaeological site was once one of the most important centers for Buddhist learning in the entire region. The Muaro Jambi complex is spread over a huge area, making it one of the largest ancient temple complexes in Southeast Asia. It consists of dozens of temples, or candi, made of red brick, connected by a network of canals and pathways. For centuries, this was a bustling university city. Monks and scholars from all over Asia, including China, India, and Tibet, would travel here to study Buddhism, philosophy, medicine, and other sciences. The famous Chinese Buddhist monk Yijing visited in the 7th century and wrote about the high standard of scholarship he found there, comparing it favorably to the great Buddhist centers in India. This ancient center of learning shows that Sumatra has a long history of being a hub for the exchange of ideas and knowledge. It was a place where different cultures met and learned from one another. While we do not have specific names of female scholars from this period, the existence of such a sophisticated intellectual environment suggests a society that valued wisdom and learning. The knowledge cultivated at Muaro Jambi would have influenced the entire region, contributing to the development of philosophy, art, and governance. The site is a reminder that the strength of a civilization lies not only in its military or economic power, but also in its commitment to education and intellectual exploration. Today, the ruins of Muaro Jambi stand as a quiet but powerful testament to Sumatra's rich intellectual heritage. Archaeologists continue to uncover new findings at the site, slowly piecing together the story of this great center of learning. It reminds us that the spirit of inquiry and the pursuit of knowledge have deep roots on the island. This legacy of scholarship can be seen as a foundation for the later educational movements led by figures like Rohana Kudus and Rahma el-Yunusia. They were part of a long Sumatran tradition that understood the power of education to transform society and empower individuals, a tradition that began centuries ago in the peaceful scholarly halls of Muaro Jambi.